when you find out that you have been blaming everything else outside yourself, it's about now time to pause.
Relax kwanza.
Relax. Now start reflecting on yourself, because you have been blaming this external thing, but when we look closely,
wewe ndio uko na shida.
Yeah. By the way, ndio maana nakasirikanga mtu akikwambia usilale mchana. Unajua ni nini nilikuwa nafanya usiku?
Akajua anyway. Okay.
So now,
and do you know how old the guy is?
The guy is 20 years.
20 years.
That's a fully grown man.
Road trip tano. This guy has you mean road trips? Hizi na akona gari ama anaenda na hizi matatu?
I don't know. I didn't want to ask. That's where now I snapped. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Power Talk. My name is Eli, all Daddy Blessing.
My name is Elvis.
Yeah, karibuni sana mazee. This has been a long time coming.
Tumekuwa tukiambiwa we look alike, we speak alike, tunafanyanga hizi vitu zote, we sound alike, we are like brothers.
Yeah. Actually, there is a very huge conflict on TikTok.
Bro, me niko na, I think I have like how many twins right now? If I start counting ni wengi sana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look like this person, you sound like this person.
There's another chick they were comparing me with. I was like, bana. Dem fulani alikuwa anasema I sound like their ex. But anyway, it's been a long discussion.
Yeah, mazee.
But we are finally here today.
Planning and postponing and all that. But finally we have a product we can call our own. Now, let us start by first of all introducing the Power Talk, or the EE PowerTalk, mazee. This has been an idea that we have sat on for quite a long time. We can call it years kwa sababu si months. Ever since we started creating on TikTok and before you even started hosting I remember when you were hosting your first meetup.
Yes.
That's when we started talking about what can we do together.
That was the time we actually started talking about all that.
Yeah.
Hey.
And now, see where both of us are.
Ni Mungu.
We met when I was doing politics.
By the way, but if, speaking of your politics, ulikuwa unapenda siasa hadi na
Mwanzo mimi nilikuwa nini Zakayo damu, but now
what happened?
What happened.
I once saw a comment in your videos msee akisema acha kubonga na ulikuwa na support Zakayo.
The good thing is when we outgrow things, we outgrow them for good.
Of course.
If you are stuck behind there, that's now live in my past rent free. Uko nilihama.
Uko ulihama.
Yeah.
Hey, but mazee. Anyway, it's a good thing. Actually, me was a comedian.
Yeah, I remember mazee.
I used to create memes. Me Buddha nilikuwa nachekesha Kenya mzima. Until one day I sat down and wondered, how come I'm getting millions of views na silipwi?
Yeah.
This is not making sense.
Now, the EE PowerTalk, basically, we want to get the young generation in order.
Of course.
And not necessarily just the young generation, but basically the society in order.
Yeah, especially. I think we need proper mentors. We need proper content.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, most of the podcasts I listen to in Kenya, honestly, we don't have information. Yeah. I think mingi ni gossip, first of all.
Absolutely.
We want to talk about things that don't make sense. But at the end of the day, I think two people sitting together and discussing things that make sense.
Yeah.
Iko fiti.
Yeah, so we are looking forward to create a community that is harnessing our abilities as creatives. A community that also is building a good culture. That we will not be crying of the same things when we are dealing with our own kids.
Yeah, man.
Because if we don't shape us right now,
we need to be shaping ourselves.
We're gonna be left by a task of two blind generations trying to look who is seeing better. Because there is no way a blind man can lead another blind man.
Of course.
So basically that's what the Power Talk is all about. And when you hear the word power,
unajua ni power.
You're gonna brace for impact kwa sababu we're gonna talk as it is. We have sugar-coated so many things for a very long time.
Kweli.
And this is the reason why we have the kind of generation that we have right now. If we had people to tell us the things that we learned by ourselves, we could have been far. Sana kwa sababu people perish by lack of knowledge.
They even lack information.
Yeah.
The very simple thing yenye we should be taught as young as kids.
Yeah.
Sasa ndo tunajua.
Absolutely.
Who told you, like, kama ulifunzwa ukiwa mtoto that you need to be prepared on the cost of being in a relationship. Imagine how many heartbreaks and how many character developments we would have saved.
Let me say, there was a time Professor Hamu said tunavunjangwa roho mpaka siku hizi hatuwezani nazo town.
Unafikanga Nairobi roho ikiwa nyumbani.
Roho iko nyumbani kwa sababu ukiibeba itavunjwa beyond repair. imebaki tumeachia Mungu sasa afanye venye anataka na sisi. But if we had some people who could have guided us, first of all, date for purpose. Know why you are dating, not just because of dating.
Be reasonable.
Be reasonable.
I mean, bana. Kwanza majamaa huku hivi wanajionea mbaya.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think these are discussions that we need to have.
Absolutely.
Like you see the same thing that we talk about getting skills and getting to know how to do stuff.
Yeah.
I think basically we need to share this information in form of a podcast. In as much as you're doing TikTok videos and creating all these videos,
correct,
at the end of the day we have to look at bigger impact, and this is a good start.
Absolutely. It's a way of packaging information in a way that is both accessible and clear. Kwa sababu pia we are not gonna be dropping jargons here. We are dealing with the common knowledge of common youths and common language of common youths.
Quick question.
Yeah, correct.
What do you think is the biggest, which is the biggest problem that we have as youth?
We are the problem.
We are the problem.
We are the biggest problem we have as us. Like there is no way we can mention problems and leave ourselves outside. We are the problem. Let me tell you something. When you find out that you have been blaming everything else outside yourself, it's about now time to pause.
Relax kwanza.
Relax. Now start reflecting on yourself, because you have been blaming this external thing, but when we look closely,
wewe ndio uko na shida.
Yeah,
in fact, that's very true, because even when it comes to employment, the first thing we blame is who? The government.
Absolutely.
The next thing after the government is our parents. They took us to school to study degrees that don't have jobs. But the biggest question is me.
Yeah.
The moment I sat down and started thinking about me, do I have the problem? And I think ideally the fact that you've said that the biggest problem we have as youth is the youth.
Yeah.
We ourselves. We don't like to blame ourselves. We like to blame other people. Yeah.
It is because of lack of responsibility. I think we should be taught from an early age that some things the buck stops with you. The buck stops with you when it comes to deciding on how you want your life to be. If you are beyond 18 years, I don't see the reason why you should be blaming your misfortunes on anyone else. And
telling and complaining that the world has abandoned you.
It abandoned Jesus. Who are you? I like using my Bible as reference because that is the most common book that we have.
You said you're a pastor. You're a pastor, yeah?
I'm not a pastor. I'm a believer.
Oh, you're a believer?
I'm a believer.
Hey, but kuna time una droppingi gems niko like, hey, kwani umsei? Bro, are you supposed to be creating this content ama unafaa kuwa unasema Jesus fire?
You know, speaking of which, there has been a misrepresentation of gospel. Maybe that's something we shall talk about in the wrong land.
Yes.
But also, it's as a result of misinformation. Gospel does not mean fire. Sometimes.
Plus, I think we've also confused between religion and going to church.
Absolutely.
I think 90% of the people go to church.
Yeah.
And only like 10% or even a smaller percentage understand religion as it is.
Absolutely.
Sisi wengine tunaendanga tu kanisa.
Then in that small percentage, there are people who are drunk in religion.
Yes.
Then there are us who are believers. A religious person and a believer, they are two different people.
Two different things.
Because religion is a practice. It's a routine. You wake up on Sunday, you go, you listen to the word according to the interpretation of someone else, because you have not read. Then you go back home after kutoa sadaka, then wait for the next Sunday. You have not read your Bible. You have not read anything. So the interpretation that you will have of the gospel and everything else is the same as the interpretation ya mtu mwenye kwa university anangoja lecturer akuje na notes zake.
Yenyewe.
So there is no difference.
Anyway, the religion part is going to be a different one some other time.
Yeah.
Watu wasianze kusema you misogyny in religion, whatever.
Misogyny. I like and again mentioning what you have just mentioned here is like the word misogyny and all those things. When people find something that they don't understand, they are not willing to find out what it means and how it operates. They give it a name.
Of course.
Misogyny, misadre.
Conflicting arguments.
Yes.
They always, but anyway, it's condescending.
You're very condescending.
In fact, I think one of the worst ways to insult someone is to use such words.
Yeah.
hata afadhali muite ng'ombe ama punda because directly it makes sense.
Absolutely.
But anyway, that is not going to be the main discussion on all of this. I think mostly it's about self-improvement, personal development.
Yeah.
You have a story.
Yeah, I do. And it's quite interesting because where the youths are heading, it's a dangerous terrain because we have a divide of people who are very much willing, but they don't have the opportunity. But again, we have another divide of people who not only have the opportunity, but the unwillingness in them, I don't know what we can compare it with.
Hey, Maze.
Just the other day, had a family reach out, but they have the consent to give this story. I'm not just giving out to...
ni content.
Yeah, ni content. I have the consent to give this story to at least drive a conversation that we will not find another family going through the same thing. So they have this guy. I'm a video director. I do videography, and on the side I
DB
teach.
Studios.
DB Studios.
Yes.
On the side I teach. And I teach online. Reason why I learned online. There is a funny mentality of people being obsessed with physical locations and all those things. I was taught by an Indian.
Welcome
to my YouTube channel.
Welcome to my YouTube channel.
That is where we learned. This family reached out. The sister reached out. She told me, my brother has been telling me. Now that's the funny thing. My brother has been telling me he's interested in filmmaking and videography and all that. How can he acquire these skills? I gave them the very first option, YouTube, because that's where I got it.
Yes.
And I crafted a list of channels where this person can go and get the skills that are
free. This is free.
Free.
Okay, go on.
I took my time, listed a group of channels where this guy can go and acquire the knowledge and all that. But the sister insisted, I like your work. I've seen DB Studios. I've been to your website. I see your portfolio page, and I see I love what you deliver in the quality of your work. So if it could be personalized, that it is coming from you, I think it could be much easier, and I'd feel that my brother is in safe hands. So I said, okay, if you want your brother to learn under DB Studios, what you're going to do is we have a course. And this course, we're going to give your brother a period of 3 months. In these 3 months, we're going to first of all sit down with him.
So you and this dude have agreed that 3 months you're going to take classes.
Yes.
And the sister has agreed to pay it.
Yes.
Whoosh. Okay. What a nice sister.
Now, the payment has been made, all those things. Now it's time to start the class. I tell this guy now, we're going to have 2 weeks of theory. First of all, educating you or familiarizing you to the lingo of film production. Like, nikiitisha microphone usilete panga. Unaget? The day that we were supposed to start the theory lessons, I called the guy. And we had agreed on time. Saa 2 mpaka saa 3 usiku. Si time yenye ati ni saa 6 usiku or it is late or anything.
Ni
majioni. And he said he's okay. And in fact, we confirmed that your time hakuangi busy. What a way to express yourself. Your time hakuangi busy. So I called the day we were supposed to start the lessons. The guy said he's not going to be available because he's following a series.
This dude is following a series?
Yes.
So he's not going to make it to class?
Yes. So I said, can we push it? I'm a very patient person. I think that's why most people...
No, wait. The dude is like, Ujama ni series.
Yes. There is a very hot series.
Series?
Yes.
Na si anaweza press pause aende darasa alafu arudi kwa nini?
Pan tutainterfere na schedule yake.
Okay, go on.
I ask nikamuuliza when next are you available? Or at what time can we schedule your classes? I'm that kind of person who is, I'm going to be patient with you. I'm going to wait for you to do all that nonsense until I'm tired. I told him, now look for a day when you're going to be flexible, then we shall be working with your time. Because your sister is willing and all that, and I've promised your sister to hold your hand. I'm not going to disappoint your sister. So he said, wacha nimalize hii nini episode ya leo, wacha nione vile itakuwa. Then tomorrow we can. And the reason why nimempea hiyo time period is because I have other things that I do online usiku. Like meetings and all. Like most of us, we are night people. By the way, ndio maana nakasirikanga mtu akikwambia usilale mchana. Unajua ni nini nilikuwa nafanya usiku?
Akajua anyway. Okay.
So now you have scheduled all those things. You have found space for this person. And it's a space dedicated only for them. You're not teaching any other person.
Only them.
Only them.
But so, the dude wants to listen, wants to watch a series.
Yes.
Anataka kuwatch episode moja. Aone venye kutakuwa. Okay.
Now, I told him, look for another day or another week. How is next week? The week that followed is when he told me, now, nikiangalia wiki yangu hivi, niko na road trip kama 5.
Road trip 5? This guy has you mean road trips? Na akona gari ama anaenda na hizi matatu?
I don't know. I didn't want to ask. That's where now I snapped. And I called the sister and I told her, it has become very difficult to work with your brother. Niko na road trips kama 5. And najua sasa mtu akitoka road trip mazee, yo kuchoka and all that. Like, in his head, ana sound smart. In his head, when he is reasoning. Telling me, after road trip, unajua mtu akiwa amechoka, by the way bro, huwezi shika. Huwezi rada kitu.
So bro, this is sioni.
Bro, sioni mazee.
Okay.
So this week you're not going to be available, you're following a series. Next week you have road trips planned. Very nice. Nice to meet you.
Anja tumalizia hapo.
I told him now, when you're free, you'll call me. Let me communicate with your sister. I told the sister everything that the brother had said. What he's prioritizing, road trips and series. And the sister said, well, there's nothing I can do about it. Au kadipo nilikuwa nimekurushia, nimekubariki nayo. And it's okay. From there, I made a mistake of posting that story online. Let me tell you, here in my phone, I have another story yenye nikaeza onyesha watu watasema ni stories za jaba. Let me show you.
And do you know how old the guy is?
The guy is 20 years.
20 years.
That's a fully grown man.
Na anataka kuwatch series.
Yes.
Angekuwa mtoto.
You know, people think I craft these stories out of nowhere. Now, I want you to read the first message from this sender without reading their name. Read it loud so that people can hear.
My brother was bought a helicopter for business. What ametupitisha, I had to go through therapy. A helicopter.
Yes. Na jamaa ako raha tu.
We bro, ebu ngoja. Sayenye me I was struggling to tell my parents to buy me a Techno H5 venye zilitokea.
Yeah.
There is a brother over here.
Yes.
This brother
alinunuliwa
helicopter.
Yes.
Ndege guy hadi nangoa.
Yes.
Ndege.
I want you to read the don't read the registration number yenye inaanza na 5Y. Just read the yes after just that one message.
Yes, after a 9 million bob education in the US, a whole helicopter. The boy chicaned with his girlfriend.
Yes.
And my dad couldn't access the plane. That thing contributed to putting my dad in hospital.
Thank you. So now, bro, these things, you have seen them for yourself. That's why...
Let's go back kidogo. Achana na huyo wa road trips.
Yeah.
This dude alinunuliwa helicopter.
Absolutely.
After business. 9 million Kenyan shillings was spent for his education. Yes. And probably it was in aviation school.
Yes.
And this dude decided to elope with a girlfriend.
Yes.
Jesus, man.
So, when we talk about these things, people think ni stories are jaba, you're just creating stories. When I tell you I was depressed for 24 hours, I was depressed. Because now there are more messages like that one of people now talking. Then I got tagged in a video ya yule jamaa wa 38 years mwenye mama yake.
Yeah, hata mimi I was tagged in that video. I was like, what? 38 years?
I said I'm not going to talk about it because I have similar cases in my inbox.
Bro, me, like, honestly, let me tell you one thing.
Yeah.
I think we have a crisis.
Absolutely.
But I'm trying to understand and even fathom the idea that a parent, this parent went and bought like a helicopter for this kid after spending money in the US.
Yes.
But the dude decided to go and stay with a girlfriend.
Absolutely.
Jesus Christ. What a way to mess your priorities, man.
Yeah, so now, when you look at the society now, who is to blame there? Because now this guy has been, every kind of resource has been made available for him. But his choice of how he will spend his time and where he prioritizes his mind and where to focus is off. Then there are other people who are just saying tupate tu ata kampuni moja yenye inaweza sponsor Elvis atupatie courses for free, because we have those kind of people who are saying aki si hawa watu wanafanyanga nini, like wakuje tu like wakupe kama 100k ushike students 10. You see, that's reasonable. That's
very reasonable.
Then there are people who have been bought for helicopters. In this country of ours.
In this country of Kenya.
Kwa hii dunia yenye inamilikiwa na mtukufu rais. Yeah.
Man.
Someone has an helicopter at Wilson.
It's the same case I was seeing this parent who went and bought a laptop here. 350,000.
Goodness gracious.
350,000.
Yeah.
Kijana alienda akaona hiyo lapi, by the way. Nikiweza niuze 270,000. Alafu niende niekele bet moja safi. Bet moja safi. 270,000 odds ni hizi. Sinatengeneza ka 400. Sintakuwa nimebaki na niende ni buy lapi ingine kama hiyo. The money disappeared. So you can imagine the parent.
Na kwani what kind of a company was he using to bet? Kwani ni casino? Kwa sababu nowadays betting is regulated.
The guy, I don't know what was that. Junido ilipotea. Because hata mimi nilikuwa namuuliza, brother, where is this umeambiwa sijui if you put 270,000 kwa kitu fulani?
Yeah, because
that's how people lose their money. Like this dude I was telling him, watu wana bet na 50 bob.
Yeah.
Unaambiwa aje na msee sijui ukichukua 270,000 sijui mwekelee uta. Nikasema tu acha ni nyamazi hiyo story. It's a common scenario that you're finding. It's the same way of people, they want to make quick riches.
Yeah.
Unakuta msee, like the scams I've had to deal with. Sijui, when we were in Campo by then, in 2016 na huko 2017, there was a scam that came up ilikuwa inaitwa public likes. Same guy, like mseka huwa 270,000.
Yeah.
Just because umeambiwa, it's this whole thing ya sijui wakinunua odds, sijui wakifanya bet moja safi.
Yeah.
Where someone entices you with something that doesn't make sense. Juata nikauliza huyu jamaa, wait, I don't bet myself with these betting companies.
Yeah.
I don't think they can allow that kind of can you put a bet?
Maximum is 20,000.
Maximum is 20,000.
Yeah.
But this dude was told tukiekelea hii bet moja safi.
Yeah.
Ni hivyo. So you can imagine the money that was lost by just making a stupid decision. Yeah. And in fact, it was not even lost to a betting company. Yeah. It was lost to a fake individual.
Who is selling odds.
I think you've seen the same thing on websites where you open a website unakuta vitu tu as it makes sense. Yeah. It's a common scenario. Yeah. But some people, they have the abilities, they're given all that can actually help them, but they cannot even be willing to work. Yeah. I had another case of guy was alinunuliwa cameras. Cameras to do videography. Was alinunuliwa hadi drone.
Wow.
Yeah. The parents were like, wow, you kind of like videography, by the way. And you see, it's these guys, umeona jamaa, they just like to take photos.
Oh, right.
So he took a videography course na akanunuliwa hizi vitu zote.
Wow.
The moment alianza kuingiza pesa, I don't know what really happens, but we have this sherehe mentality where you start doing sherehe and then eventually you start selling your equipment to finance that lifestyle. You get that?
Yeah.
But the fact that someone is even willing to come and pay a course, akuje alipe course, akwambie usome, and then unasema kuna venye ka series fulani ni kakali, I think I need a break.
Well, I think there is a gap yenye we need to bridge that gap. And we've been shouting about courses, skills, and all those things. There'll come a time you learn a skill, it will give you money. There's something called financial literacy.
Very important.
It is very dangerous to change your life immediately. Your lifestyle, your status, just because of your fast breakthrough. My friend, I have no issue with you staying in a 3-bedroom. I have no issue you driving the
latest Benz.
The latest Benz, the G-Class, if you have the millions to buy it. But there is a danger when you can't replicate what gave you that money.
True.
If you can't do the same thing to get the money that you got. If it was a one-off, the only place your money will go is downward.
Of course.
Have no shame staying in a bed-sitter as far as you're building yourself. Have no shame having one desk at a corner as long as you know what you're doing. I'm not telling people to stay in a life that is undesirable. Don't be a miser.
Zikuwe stingy, kusijinyime sana.
Usijinyime sana.
Ukisemanga ati ni pesa una save.
Yeah. Utasave za mazishi yako.
Watu watasema, alikuwa na tu savings kwa zako fulani hapo tununue.
But be wise enough to know that if you can't replicate what has given you that amount of money, you're in danger.
Of course.
Because everything else in your life will be upgraded apart from your ability to earn the same amount of money. Let us reduce the appetite that we have for things that are easy coming, because if it is free, someone else paid the cost, and when they come for that cost, my friend, you will pay.
You will pay, of course.
If you see it free somewhere, kuna mtu amelipa, and the reason why you are getting it for free is because you are the investment, you are the product.
Kila kitu.
Yeah.
Wewe mwenyewe.
Yeah, wewe. You, your life, your destiny, and everything.
But I think people really need to understand that.
Absolutely. That's why we are here with the Power Talk.
EE PowerTalks.
Yeah, maze.
Yeah, maze. Me hata me, by the way, I once tried to do a podcast nikiwa peke yangu.
Yeah.
Bro, I bonged. I bonged.
You bong until there's nothing else.
I bonged until I realized, wait, should I post this? Because what I've bonged is not kind of making sense. Alafu ni ile, when you're having a conversation with someone, it makes it even more enticing.
Correct.
So bro, imagine you're like bonging by yourself hapo hivyo. You're bonging. No one is, but anyway, you have to start somewhere.
Absolutely.
And it's a very good start. It's a Kickstarter that is actually amazing. EE PowerTalks.
Yeah.
Mostly it's self-development, personal development, self-improvement. All this is meant to target the youth, to target anyone who wants to get some information.
Yes.
Huyo jamaa wa helicopter.
My friend.
Bro, this guy got a helicopter.
Helicopter iko kwa hanga.
Na sasa hiyo sisi tulikuwa tunanunua katoi ka helicopter. Na hata akaendi mahali.
Yes.
Niwe umekashikilia hivi.
Yeah.
But this dude was gotten a helicopter.
A helicopter.
Jesus Christ.
So with the EE Power Talk, we're going to demystify some myths that people have. Life is not as easy as people think.
Of course.
And it's not as sad as people think.
Again.
So exist.
Of course.
Exist. Then from there, we just be willing to learn the terrains. Yeah, and this is where we call out if you believe you have a product that resonates with what we are driving, the narrative of financial literacy, personal growth, and all that. Feel free to reach out to us.
Of course.
The EE PowerTalk at gmail.com. Soon and very soon, our website
will be ready.
Will be ready.
Yes.
Where we can have official conversations.
And we can accept donations.
And absolutely. By the way, I and Elvis, we have other things that we do on a personal level.
Of course.
And due to that, we can bring them together and see how we can help our youths.
Of course.
So if you have a company that is resonating with the dream that we are driving, slide kwa DMs.
Tutumie tugonge text.
Yeah.
Tugonge message.
Yeah.
But don't come and tell us I have these and these investments. That one we will not listen to.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you so much for listening to the first episode.
Absolutely. The EE PowerTalk.
Yes.
Episode 1, that's a wrap.
Good.